What's up, Oskie fans? We are back week 2 to break down the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Atlanta got us on this one, 22-21. There's a lot of blame to go around, but we're going to start with the positives. The number one takeaway from this game is Jalen Hurts is back. Now, there's a lot of people already speculating that he's not elite, he's not someone that we can trust, someone that, got paid prematurely, all these types of narratives. But at the end of the day, the man went out there, completed 23 out of 30 passes, 183 yards. He averaged 6.1, had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It wasn't the best as far as passing, but his rushing, he had 13 rushes for 85 yards, averaged 6.5 yards per carry, and a touchdown. We haven't seen him do that, it seems like since the Super Bowl run a couple years back. So that's a great sign for us. Now, is there a lot more on his plate since Jason Kelce is retired? Of course there is. It would be like that with any quarterback. But he's handled it quite well. He's completed a lot whenever he's getting pressured. Of course, he was down A.J. Brown, but he did enough to win last night's game. He did enough. He was moving the chains. He was putting his body on the line. He made the throws that needed to be made. He should have never had to go back out there to try to get in field goal range. But we'll get to that in a bit. But number one, Jalen Hurts, he's looking right. I like this Jalen Hurts. I like this version. We need him to be a threat in the run game. Yes, we have Saquon Barkley. Yes, should we have ran him on that third down towards the end of the game, less than 2 minutes left? That's an option. But the play was there. My second takeaway of this game, positive, is Devontae Smith was playing up to what we needed him to play up to as that number one, because he's really a 1B. He's not a 1A, but he's a 1B for us because we have A.J. Brown. Now, that was about all that we had going well for us yesterday. Yes, the defense came up with a couple of key stops, but ultimately let us down. But yeah, that was about it on the positives. Now, blame. Who is to blame for this meltdown? One negative for sure could be Nick Sirianni not wanting to take the field goals early on in the game. Easy 6 points. But then again, it's kind of like we have this type of offense. We have a high-powered offense. We have so many weapons. And if you don't believe in your team that they can convert on a 3rd and short or a 4th and short, then what's the purpose of having all these weapons if you're not even going to try to utilize them? That builds confidence. I remember one season we were going for 4th downs like it was nothing, and we were converting. Nobody had anything to say about the coach. Nobody had anything to say about the offensive coordinator or any of the players because the play worked. But whenever the play doesn't work and Saquon doesn't make the catch, everybody sees that he's open. Everybody sees that we should have gotten the 1st down. That would have been game over. But just because he misses it, now all of a sudden, you got people wanting to fire Nick Sirianni, to bash Saquon Barkley. Kellen Moore isn't good. That's why the Cowboys got rid of him. No, the Cowboys got rid of him because McCarthy wanted to have more shine because he thought his job was in jeopardy. So he got rid of the competition, sent him to the LA Chargers. Now look, it's early on in the season. Everybody's gonna question you whenever something goes wrong, but when it goes right, nobody's gonna question you. All the Philly fans that I saw that were complaining and that were upset about the call or Nick Sirianni, come on, guys, y'all were there. Y'all saw it on TV. The play was there, and you got Saquon taking the blame because he knows it was his game that lost us the game. So nobody should be upset about anything. Yeah, be upset that we lost. But it's only the second game of the season. These guys didn't even play preseason together. So of course it's going to be the first, second, maybe even the third game. It's a long season. And if y'all are really Philly fans and y'all really ride with this team, then there's no reason why we should even be seeing all this. Now look, did our defense let us down? Did Saquon let us down? Of course. Did they take responsibility? That's what you want to see, which they did. C.J. Gardner-Johnson played his tail off. But y'all act as if nobody messes up in this game. Everybody messes up. Slay. Big play Slay at the end of the game. Going up against London. He even said after the game, it was his bad. He effed up. Boom. I mean, that's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can say. Now everybody's trying to bash him as well. Look, when you're a top tier athlete, you are your worst critic. Anybody who has any type of competitive bone in their body knows that that's the case. And the ones that don't, then I guess you just weren't as competitive or were any good at anything in your life. Because when you are a little bit good at something, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, does it kind of give you the bad taste like last season? Yes, I agree. It does feel like that at time a little bit, but I'm still pretty optimistic on this team this season. Now look, our pressure, our defensive line, they're not getting to the quarterback like I'm used to seeing. Now, that's another negative about this game. Where was our pass rush? The guy that I heard the most and was a man called Thomas Booker. I didn't even know who he was before this game. But hey, he was going out there. He was showing flashes. Now, Brandon Graham ended up getting a sack, but then it was called back because somebody in the defense got defensive holding. Now, do I feel that the refs have been BSing us ever since that call in the Super Bowl? Yeah, I do. But have we been able to overcome that? Yes, we have. Unfortunately, they got us in the Super Bowl, and now, a little bit here, a little bit there. Last season, the start of this year. But we can't always just blame the refs. We got to be able to perform, and the defense isn't performing like I thought. Our linebacker play, you can't depend on our linebacker play to get us all of our sacks. You just can't. Bond was out there playing crazy on the first week, but now he had about 9 tackles total. Reed Blankenship led us with 10. So, Nakobe Dean, he was pretty active this game. Now they chopped us up in between the 20s. But once they got to the red zone, our defense held them to 3 points, held them to field goals. But just when we needed them to hold on, they couldn't towards the end of the game. At the very end, they couldn't. But that's something that Vic Fangio is going to have to clean up. Are we going to make another trade? Huff hasn't been what we thought he was going to be. But again, it's still early. It's still early. Like, we went up against Green Bay. That was a playoff team. So that's nothing to sneeze at. We beat them on that one, okay? Now, the Falcons, look, we should have definitely got to Kirk Cousins, but they're looking pretty good this season. You cannot deny them. Bijan was running all over us. Hook him, baby. But he was doing his thing. I mean, you got to give props. Yes, we should have won that game, but hey, we won a lot of those games last year. And where did it get us? Bounced early in the playoffs. So I would much rather us lose, learn from it, really dig deep, And let's see what's going to happen next week whenever we play against New Orleans, because they just got done beating the mess out of the Cowboys. That's going to be a tough task for us next week. Now, a lot of people probably aren't going to pick us for that game, but they're going to be wrong. Kellen Moore, I know his play calling, a lot of people don't really care for it as much, but you know, it's a lot different than last season. A lot of motion, early motions. You know, that's good. I like where we're going. We're barely scratching the surface, guys. Barely scratching the surface. Look, we always beat Atlanta. So, hey, they got us. You know, it is what it is. Still got 15 more games left. 15. Just relax. Just relax, Eagles fans. Just relax, baby. We're going to be back in this thing. And then whenever we go and beat New Orleans, then everybody's going to come out of the woodworks who bailed on us. They'll be coming back. Don't worry. That'll be a fun matchup. They're going to get tested. That's going to be the test right there, an early test. I think that we just played down to Atlanta because we should have won the game, but we played down. But, you know, that's what happens. You're not focused all the way, especially on defense. Offensive line, defensive line have to get off. I mean, offensive line did good, but, you know, the defensive line, they're going to have to pull their weight. They got to do their part. So, you know, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me know who you got next week. Eagles or the New Orleans Saints. Catch you on the next one. Peace.